Hey, what's up, action takers? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Jandy and I help people create their own financial freedom. So if that's you, then this is the perfect channel for you guys to start doing your own thing and start creating your own success through e-commerce. I mainly talk about using dropshipping and also creating your own brand using e-commerce, and I'm also experienced with paid advertising such as Facebook ads. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I was able to generate over $500,000 in 6 months. Now I'm also going to share with you guys the strategies that I did and also my ad manager so you guys can see my ad spend, and at the end of this video I'm going to be showing my overall profit. Now this video is going to be a value packed, so the only thing I ask from you guys is to like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so, and also comment down below #ActionTaker if you want to win a one-on-one consulting call with me. Everything is free here and that's all I ask for. Anyway, let's get started. Alright guys, I hope you guys are excited for this because I definitely am. I'm going to be talking about how I generated over $544,000 in 6 months with Shopify Dropshipping. Now this is going to be a free course plus a case study for you guys. So make sure you have a notepad out, start taking notes, or maybe a Word document, and then don't forget to take action, which is the most important thing. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, it's called the ECOM Action Takers. It's the first link in the description. Go ahead and do that. But for now, I'm going to show you guys my actual dashboard of Shopify and actually show you guys the proof that I did these numbers. Alright, so this is my Shopify dashboard here. This is from March 12 to September 1. Okay, it's roughly around 6 months. And I did about $544,000 like I said previously, and there was some ups and downs here due to the supplier, which I'm going to be creating a separate video for that. Basically I lost a whole month because of this mistake, and you can see that it dropped from $5,000 to $300, $700 around that time, but I was able to scale it back up right here that you can see that. I know there's going to be a lot of skeptics out there, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh that. Let's go back to, actually let's show March. Okay, so there were no sales from March 1 to March 11. March 12 where I started testing the product, I got about 2 sales, and then within that month I was able to generate over $65,000, and then I just scaled. So I'm going to show you guys how I scaled that and the strategies that I did over time. But first, let's talk about how I found the product and the product research method that I used. I searched past winners, so basically previous year, on Facebook, and then I was just going through them until I saw this product. When I saw the product, I checked Google Trends straight away, and the trend was basically high. If you haven't looked at Google Trend before, you can basically use that tool. It's free. Okay, put your product in there and you can see what the trend is like. Obviously if it's really low, then there's less demand for it, but for this particular product it was really high. It met the criteria below. Every time I look for products, I have to meet some of the criteria, or basically all of the criteria I'm going to be mentioning here. The first one is it solves a problem. It actually solves multiple problems, so that's a big yes for me. It has a very high perceived value. It was a proven winner in high demand. Like I said, I searched for past winners from previous years on Facebook, and that's how I found this product. And the fourth one was there were videos available for the product, so that gave me a good amount of resources to start testing the product straight away. There were only 2 suppliers on AliExpress, but one Amazon store had over 500 4-star reviews, so that was good. And then I created a niche general store around this product. Now I always talk about the different types of stores that you can make when starting drop shipping, and you guys know, those that follow me, that I love niche stores or niche general stores. If you don't know what that is, basically there are three types of store: a one product store, a general store, which most dropshippers use, and a niche store. A niche store is basically just one particular niche with multiple products around that. And what I did was I uploaded the product, and then I started importing other products that might go well with it within the same niche, so in the future I can upsell straight away. There are many benefits using a niche store over one product store and a general store. The main one is basically there's it looks branded, and also you can create a higher average order value, which means higher profit margin for you, and it would just be easier for you to start spending ads because you have that big profit margin. Anyways, the next step, I searched for the product name on YouTube and Facebook, and there was some demand. There were also good reviews, so the product is definitely worth to test. I made my own videos by using the clips from YouTube and Facebook using Camtasia. I created a YouTube video on this, basically how to make winning product creatives, so go ahead and watch that if you haven't done so. And I started running ads. I used my own flash method by using PPE and WC at the same time. Basically, this strategy is creating two separate campaigns at the same time, and one is PPE and one is website conversion purchase objective campaign. And for this, I created 7 single interest ad sets on my website conversion campaign. They were ABOs, which is ad set budget only, and I believe it was around $5 per ad set. Okay, the age group was 45 plus, US only, men and women. The reason why I did a 45 plus was because I looked into audience insights, and I saw that majority of the people that liked the product within that interest or within that niche were 45 or over. Now I only did US because this is a fairly heavy product, and there were stock in US from an AliExpress store, so I just tested US, and it worked out really well for me because obviously you have that faster shipping. It gives you better customer service for your customers in US. Now, the second campaign that you want to create is a PPE. I did 3 big broad interests, 3 total ad sets. Now, big broad interests, these interests are basically the big ones, which are 50 million or more audiences. Typically, you'll see this if you just search for a niche. So that's what I did. I just searched for my niche. I saw the interest around that, and then I just ran that, created 3 separate big broad interests and 3 total ad sets. I had 2 videos per interest from my WC campaign and also my PPE campaign, just so I can boost those 2 particular videos. Once I found the winning video, then I started creating lookalikes, which I'm gonna be expanding later on. Okay, so what happened was, second day it was very profitable. I stopped my PPE campaign because I didn't need to anymore. Started scaling by testing more interest on the original WC ABO campaign. So I just duplicated my single interest that made sales and basically created more interests, which is what you call a horizontal scaling. Now, the third day, I introduced lookalike audiences from 50%, 75%, 95% video views, segmented it using 3 segments: 1%, 1 to 2%, and 2 to 5%. Now, if one particular audience is working, for example 50% is working, then I would expand this to 1%, 1 to 2%, 2 to 3%, and so forth until you get up to 10%. So you have 10 different kinds of interest or ad sets that you can set up. Every day I would test new interests in my WCABO campaign, so just duplicate more, testing different kinds of angles and audiences. This is really, really important because that's how you're going to accumulate very, very good data. Because once you find winning interest and you scale that up, you're feeding your pixels high quality data. So take note of that. At the end of the first week, I introduced 2 more campaigns. Okay, one scaling campaign at $200 CBO using my top 5 interests and lookalikes. So basically, I split them into 2 different kinds of campaigns, top 5 interests and top 5 lookalikes. Okay. Second campaign was 180 days retargeting at $5 per ad set. I created 3 different ad sets, basically 50 to 95% video views, excluding view content. Don't ignore the typo here, sorry about that, guys. And then my second ad set, I created a view content excluding ATC. Third ad set, I created ATC excluding purchase. These are all 180 days. Now I made a video on this, a very, very high detail video on how you can create your own retargeting, so go ahead and watch that as well. Now let me tell you guys some truth. Scaling is probably the easiest part of Facebook ads, but consistency is very, very hard. You have to make sure that you are still profitable when you are scaling. Okay, my simple scaling strategy was to duplicate top 5 interests and lookalikes into a new CBO at $200. To be consistent, I was testing 10 different creatives every month. Now this is very, very important because you don't want to fatigue a particular ad. Now a lot of dropshippers out there say that their product dies, but actually it's their ad that dies. The reason for that is because your customers has seen your ads multiple times, and you don't want to fatigue that. So you want to hit different kinds of angles and audiences by creating different creatives. Now imagine this, I was testing 10 different creatives every single month using different kinds of videos, just changing the first 5 seconds or completely recreating new videos, creating short videos and all that stuff. I don't include different ad copies because it's very, very easy to do that, but these 10 different creatives were mainly videos. Okay, creative testing, 10% budget of my total ad spend. I create one single campaign with my top 5 lookalikes and attach the new creatives there. So basically, just to expand on this, if I was spending $1,000 every day, 10% of that budget is to use for testing my creatives. Now to test my creatives, I'll be creating one single campaign for this using my top 5 lookalikes. Now you want to use interests or audiences that have worked for you from the past, so you can take away that variable or factor that your new creative won't have to rely on finding those winning audiences. You already know your top 5 lookalike audiences, so all you have to do now is test your new creatives. Once you find a winning creative, you basically scale that. And that's how you're going to generate over 6 figures really, really easy if you start scaling at the ad level and not at the ad set level or even campaign level. Okay, it's just going to be easier for you to even recycle your creatives. So for example, one ad fatigued, but you had 2 other backups from the past that worked really well for you. You can recycle that, test that again, and see if that works again. Now each month I will have a single ad that is a winner and consistently get good engagement. I don't have to test PPE on this because my website conversion campaigns purchase objective are really, really good. I basically dominated the niche in US. dominated my market. My CPM is very, very low, so it doesn't matter for me to test PPE anymore because I'm getting a lot of audiences seeing a lot of my ads, because how because I fed my pixel really, really high quality data. Now, I use different ad descriptions, thumbnails, and first 5 seconds of the video, and that's how you basically create different kinds of creatives. Now, I want to show you guys my ad manager so we can see what I did the first few weeks of testing this product. Alright guys, as you can see, we're in my ad manager now. So I'm just going to show you guys that there's no ad spend during March 11. Then I started testing March 12. Okay, I tested about $80. Now, as you can see here, I created a PPE. Okay, it was a CBO PPE, and it actually generated a sale. So as you can see here, my website conversion campaign actually generated 2 sales. Cost per purchase was $13. I was getting some good stats, and then the next day, okay, I introduced some lookalikes. I killed the PPE here. I didn't need it anymore. Okay, the lookalikes were doing really, really well. If you can see the CPM, okay, this is still my interests. My interest campaign were working really, really good, so I just keep duplicating every day, and then we just go fourth a day. Look at that, 3.33 ROAS average, only $14 cost per purchase. Now my break even for this was $25 at the start. Okay, so I was definitely profitable the first 3 days. Now if we just have a look at the month of March, okay, spent about $18,000. Cost per purchase was $16. ROAS was 3.25, and I generated almost $60,000. Now this is not accurate because some sales are not recorded. So like I showed you guys earlier, I generated about $65,000 in my first few weeks of running Facebook ads on this niche store. So basically that's what I did. I scaled that way. A lot of CBO, as you can see here. I was just doing CBOs of $200, $100, $75, and they were all doing really, really well. Cost per purchase is insane. Okay, now I just want to go back to this again. Start creating different kinds of ad creatives when you have a product that is selling. Even though it's not profitable, even though it's just breaking even, it will most likely come to your funnel and your creative. Okay, if the product is selling, is in high demand, then you gotta ask yourself, how am I going to sell this product, and how am I gonna create a very, very good video and ad copy so that my customer will click through. Now after they click through, obviously you have to create a good landing page before they can convert, so make sure you understand your funnel. Now my best performing campaigns and ad sets were open target. Now open target, if you don't know what that is, basically that's no interest or lookalike audiences. Basically no audience attached to an ad set, but you just put your best age and gender for that ad set. So for example, I'll have one particular campaign that's basically just targeting 50-year-old or more, and the gender was just female, and those were my best performing ad sets and campaigns. Basically I was able to scale that up to $10,000 ad spend. Okay, now the second campaign that was working really, really well and should always work really well for you guys is your retargeting campaign. Basically generated the best ROAS for me, and typically you'll see that with a retargeting campaign. And the third best performing campaign ad sets that worked really, really well for me were super interest or super lookalike audiences. If you don't know what super interests are or super lookalike audiences, basically you're gonna be putting your best interest one single ad set or your best lookalike audiences. For example, if your best lookalike audiences were 1% purchase and a 2% ATC and a 5% view content, you would want to put that in a single ad set. So there's going to be 3 audiences in a single ad set, okay? And you're going to call that your super lookalike audiences. The reason why this works really, really well is because Facebook already knows, or you already know that it's working really, really well for you. Now, all you have to do is basically put them in a single interest, and Facebook will find even better converting audiences, because those are proven winning audiences already. So those will work really, really well for you. Plus, it's gonna be a lot of audiences in their big pocket of audiences. Hence, you can scale up to $1,000 per ad set. Okay. Now, I just want to cover my scaling logistics. Basically, I had 2 VAs, or I still have 2 VAs working with me on this store. Okay, customer service and order fulfillment VAs. I use rules to avoid losing money, especially when you're spending over $2,000 per day. I then send a bulk orders to a 3PL in US to fulfill my orders. So basically what that means is I bulk purchase from China, from Alibaba, sent it to US, okay, to a fulfillment center, and then I started using a 3PL, which helps me fulfill the products. Now, this works well if you are just targeting a particular country, plus you want to send out your products as soon as possible so that your customer will receive it quick. So that's a big bonus there. And overall, it's just cheaper because once you start buying in bulk, the overall cost of goods will be cheap, and all you have to do is pay for the shipping. I used upsells, post-purchase upsell, and email marketing to increase my average order value. Very, very important. I probably started introducing upsells the first week when I knew that the product was selling really, really well, and this bumped up my average order value. Now, this final point here, this one is important. The more trusted your brand gets, the better. And what I mean by that is you don't even need to actually brand your niche store. It already has a branded feeling to it. As time goes on, and when you start feeding your Facebook with high quality data, okay, they will start liking your Facebook page, your Instagram posts, and all that stuff. So make sure that you start building a brand out of a niche store, even though you're still drop shipping, because this is gonna help you, okay, get repeated customers and also increase your average order value over time. Now, I was able to increase my average order value from $45 to $70 in 5 months. And the reason for that is because, okay, I was feeding my pixel high quality data. I was getting a lot of engagements in my videos and my posts, and people can see that, my potential customers can see that, and they know that they can trust my brand and my product. Okay, and over time, basically every month I would bump up the price by $5, introducing shipping even, until I was able to increase my average order value up to $70. Okay, now the product cost for this was $20 to $25, including shipping. Now this depends on the states in US. The further it is, they basically have to pay more shipping, but roughly $35 to $40 profit at the end of the 5th month. Okay, my total net profit was around 18.5%, including all fees and expenses. 90% of my expenses were COGS and ad spend. The rest were VAs. Okay, don't be afraid of scaling to big numbers and spending a lot of money, especially if something is working. So if you see that something is working, double down on it. Okay, start duplicating ad sets, start scaling. Okay, and feed your pixels really high quality data by using different kinds of interests, so you can hit those different audiences and angles to get this amount of profit, you will need to spend a lot of money, so don't be scared. Now, I want to show you guys my actual profit. I'm gonna bring it up for you guys. So basically here, now in March, I spent about $18,000. Total product cost was $33,000. Revenue was around $65,000. My total profit was $13,000 at the end of March. Now, mind you, the expenses were basically ad spend or VAs, and also all the apps and all those costs. Here's my COGS. You can see here. Okay, total ad spend before September was $186,000 roughly. Total product cost was around $255. Sum of revenue was $540,000 roughly, and my total profit was actually $100,000. Now this is really good because I was able to actually increase my profit over time by creating a brand, and also bulk ordering, and as well as increasing my average order value over time. Now, to generate this profit, the main thing I learned from this was basically testing different kinds of creatives, have a process or a system in place for your VA, and also start bulk ordering if something is working, especially if your main market is in US. Now this product I'm selling here is a bit heavy, like I said previously, so I'm just selling this in US. And for Black Friday, I'm thinking of scaling to different kinds of countries. Obviously, I'm gonna have to test the country first before I bulk order, so that's the game plan there. And I should hit 1 million at the end of this year. So I hope you guys learned something new there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, comment down below #ActionTaker if you want to win a one-on-one consulting call with me. I'll see you guys soon.